Hey, what's up my warriors of light? It's Jay Hikari, back at it again with another Shedding Some Light video. Now this time, I'm doing a little differently because I'm really bad at multitasking, so I was gonna try and play a game, but then I remembered, hey, PWND went free to play today. So you know what? I'm gonna use that to my advantage. So I got a bunch of footage from that, and I'm just gonna use that as background so that I can actually talk about today's topic. Now today's topic is actually my top 5 favorite animes as of right now. Now, most of you might be thinking, what's up with all the the top 5s? I don't know, I just can't think of anything else to talk about for now. And I have a few that I want to talk about, so whatever. Besides, I actually got something in the mail today. 2 things in the mail, actually. One of them is, a video game that I've been wanting for so long. And the other one is a camera. So I'm actually going to start doing the board game reviews and unboxings that I've been wanting to do for a long time on this channel. Now I actually have a good camera instead of using my phone. Well, I say good camera, technically my phone might have better quality, but it's unstable, it's a phone. I don't want to invest too much on a special phone tripod thing. I already have a tripod for a camera, and I've been wanting a camera, an actual camera anyways. So I got one in the mail, and, well, I ordered one from Amazon, and I got it in the mail today. It is a cheap one, so it's not too great of quality, but at least it's an actual camera. I'd prefer an actual camera compared to trying to film with my phone and it be shaky, or something goes wrong, or someone calls me right in the middle of it. Because at least while I'm recording with a camera, I could just put my phone on silent and just throw it to the side. Yay! I could also put my phone on air. I don't know, I'm overthinking this. Anyways, top 5 favorite animes! Number 5, I actually found on accident. No one told me about it. I just downloaded the PPSSPP emulator, which if you don't know what that is, it's a PSP emulator. I just recently got an actual PSP, so I don't need I still have the emulator on my phone and my computer just because there are some games that I probably won't ever be able to find because rare and expensive. I finally got this one too, which was actually the first ever PSP game I played. Even though it was on an emulator, it's still technically the first ever PSP game I've ever played. And it introduced me to the whole anime as it was. Thank you, Toradora Portable. You introduced me to Toradora. It's such a good romantic comedy. It's really good. The characters are well written and they have such unique personalities. Like the way Minorin can go from super happy and preppy to super serious is an amazing trait, and how Taiga can seem like such a pretentious asshole, but she has a heart. There are people like that, and they get that type of personality perfect when it comes to Toradora. It's just such a good anime. Number 4 is My Hero Academia. You've probably heard a lot of this one if you're a big anime fan, just because My Hero Academia is making a huge comeuppance. It's crazy how big its fan base is getting in such a small time. Season 2 is already done, and Season 3 is coming sometime this year, and people are flocking to it. I am so excited. Now, granted, a lot of my friends already know the story because they read the manga, and I'm not much of a manga reader anymore. I prefer anime, so I'm just going by what the anime is doing. It's doing a really good job. I really love that series. I love those characters. I love the story arcs. The pacing is amazing, even though the story doesn't really get through a lot. It does a really good job at slowing everything down and keeping you entranced so that you can actually be excited about what's going to happen in the next scene or what's going to happen in the next episode. It's really good. Not to mention, it's always fun to try and think about how awesome it would be to have quirks. I mean, that's just freaking... I mean, that's just the age-old question of what superpower would you have. Number 3 is a little different one. It's Chihayafuru. The only reason I found this one, like how I found Toradora through a video game and My Hero Academia, was actually showed to me by my friends. Chihayafuru I found through ProZD's top 5 anime video, and he was talking about it, and I was kind of interested. I had already started watching Cowboy Bebop, and I was really liking that one, so I trusted his judgment, and I decided to check it out, because the other ones didn't sound like my interest, because I do like some action, but I much prefer slice of life style. I looked up Chihayafuru, and if you don't know what it is, it's pretty much this series about a girl and 2 boys. It already sounds like it's off to a bad start, but it's about a girl who gets introduced into this traditional card game in Japan called Hyakunin Ishu Karuta. It's a really good series nonetheless because, you know, it starts off with them as children, but after the 3rd episode, it immediately shoots over to when they're teenagers, and that's the main part of the story. They're actually going to tournaments and whatnot. One of the 2 boys moved away when they were young, and he pretty much stopped playing Karuta, and he was the best out of the 3, so they had no idea like what made him stop. It's a really good it kind of puts a love triangle, but it doesn't focus on it because it's mainly a game anime, pretty much. It focuses on the competition. It's actually really cool to watch them too, because you know they're smacking these cards away, and they do it like slow motion and then just blasts away. It's really good. It's so good. I love it so much. Look it up. It's really, I'm just gonna say it again, it's really good because that's the only thing that's coming to my mind right now. Chihayafuru, I love it. Number 2, again, is a bit of a slice of life, but it didn't seem that way. It has very different vibes when you first get into it and when you first find it, because it's an anime called Gamers, and the summary is about gamers meeting up and hanging out and whatnot. It follows the main character, Amino, and he's pretty much this little loner gamer dude. Every day at school, he's always on his phone playing some kind of app, which, by the way, that's the one I did in my other video, Grand Blue Fantasy. It was a ripoff of that because they couldn't afford the actual rights to it. But that is the game, and this is the anime where I found that game. I love that game, and I love this anime because he's just sitting there on his phone all the time, just playing, and then the hottest, smartest, kindest girl in school, Karintendo, comes up to him at a game store one time and asks him to be a part of her game club. So he goes, he meets the people, and they play a few games and whatnot, and she asks him what he thinks and if he wants to join. And he's even thinking to himself, this is just exactly what I wanted. Friends, people to talk about games with. He talks about how, you know, this has been a dream to him, and he finally has a chance to make it a reality. And then suddenly it just cuts away, and he's just, I think I'm gonna pass this time. You don't really play the games I want to play. And that's when you realize this is a totally different show than what you thought. It is about gamers, but the games after that take a little bit of a back seat. It's more of a awkward love pentagon. It's crazy. It gets really intense, really crazy, and there's so many like misunderstandings that it's so awkward, but it's so good. I love it so much. I've already seen it twice, once in English, once in Japanese, and I prefer the English one just because the voice actor for the English best friend, Tasku, he reminds me so much of my real best friend, and his girlfriend, Aguri, reminds me so much of his girlfriend, one of my best friends. It's such a good anime, and I can actually connect with it so well. I love it so much. It's so much cringe, but it's the good kind of cringe. And finally, number 1, my favorite anime. This one you might not want to check out, or some of you already have. It's Gundam. It's just Gundam in general, because I couldn't choose which one I love most. I mean, obviously I can. I'm gonna do a top 5 Gundam video next week, but I decided to just group it all together and just say Gundam in general for this list, because oh my god, I didn't even know I was watching Gundam when I was a kid. Me and my brother would just watch Toonami a bit whenever we were kids, and G Gundam was on whenever we were younger, and all I remember was this giant robot piloted by a dude who did dances. He said burning finger. That's all I remembered. Then we also went to Tuesday Morning a lot, and because they'd sell a lot of the toys and whatnot that don't sell at other stores, they had Gundams and SD Gundams and even SD Gundam videos, and even another series of Gundam which I don't even recognize now. Me and my brother would watch SD Gundams all the time, and then we found one of the more adult Gundams, and I was like 8, and my mom had already known that we had watched SD Gundams, and we, like, you know, built some of the Gundam things without even knowing they were Gundams. So whenever I picked up, I don't remember which one it was. All I remember is it was definitely different than the other Gundams, and my mom was okay with it because she saw Gundam and she knew what it, like, that we had already bought some of that stuff, and it was okay. When I got home, I popped it in and I saw, you know, anime titties and a lot of death. I immediately took the disc and I was like, what is this? And I never watched it again, because my mom saw it and she broke it in half. But I didn't know that it was Gundam. Later on, in high school, I actually watched Gundam Seed for the first time, knowing that it was Gundam, then it clicked. I watched this stuff when I was younger! Gundam has always been a part of my life. I didn't even know that. It's awesome. I love giant robots. I love I just love Gundam. By the way, when I freaked out in Ready Player One when Gundam came out. I knew he was gonna be in there because of the trailers, but that fight against no spoilers, I'm sorry, but like all I am gonna say is there should have been more Gundam. There should have been more Gundam. Why was there only like 2 minutes? I wanted more. I want so much more. And then again, I freaked out in Pacific Rim 2 when, you know, she was standing in front of Gundam Center with Unicorn Gundam statue behind her. I freaked out. My friend just looked at me like I was an idiot. I love Gundam. You do not understand. Ha! Yes, Gundam is #1. It will always be #1. I love it so much. There is just so much for everyone. I showed some of my friends. I showed my ex-girlfriend Gundam, and she actually really liked it because I showed her like Gundam build fighters, and she saw like the bear guys, and she fell in love with the bear guys. Gundam has something for everyone. That's all I'm gonna say. I love Gundam. So yeah, that's my top 5 favorite animes. Toradora is #5, My Hero Academia is #4, Chihayafuru is #3, Gamers is #2, and Gundam in general is #1. That'll be it for this video. See you guys later. Jay Hikari, logging out.